Hi and welcome to Television. This is Triomni. I just thought I'd make an introduction video just to give you guys an idea of how unique this idea is. You know, when you can wake up of a morning and realize that you're not your programming and be excited about observing and seeing into old personality traits that used to have you in patterns that you know disempower you. It's one thing to change your game and actually play the game better. But a lot of people are finding themselves caught in a game that's like a loop. And so when we get empowered financially and personally within our own lives, we can find ourselves caught inside the same game. And there's nothing really new happening in the world, in that box of tricks that loops and loops and loops in the human condition. And we've seen it all. I mean, you go into the dating scene and what do you see? You see people teaching other people about the predictability of men and women and their behavior. And so people play each other in the world today in a way that gains the advantage through understanding how to know what the other person's doing in order to play a better game. And in that, there's really no love. The only love that there is in the world is when there is an absence of the I. The absence of the I doesn't mean you all of a sudden have no identity. The absence of the me, the personal independent me, is when you have alert attention to the entire field of our propensity to fall into old angles of thought, old habits that disempower, that are predictable, that take the light and the fun out of relationships. So by seeing outside the box, we're developing the capacity for thinking outside old habits. We're seeing ourselves in ways that can see, yeah, you know what, I can see that I can change and adjust here and be alert to what's not going on. And what's not going on is the old ego playing the old game, where even if it became financially independent, it would find itself still caught in the same loop of unconscious self-interest. And when you look at where we are today, November 2023, we're on the precipice of a World War III. Now, I guarantee you, in the future you're going to see biblical prophecy in the Quran and the Bible all reflect that we're going to fight ourselves into a hopeless state of where there will be no more war. Now, this is biblical prophecy. And when we look at that, both of these main holy books say the same thing. So we're going into a world where we're going to be confronted so much with the hopeless nature of our human condition, but we're observing it through the internet and we're understanding where it comes from. More and more people are waking up to where this continual unconscious magical du jour of why it is that we keep repeating this same pattern, which is why Triomni is saying, hey, step outside and realize you are the awareness that sees the patterning. This is third dimensional patterning. We're all third dimensional, independent, separate selves. Me, it's third dimensional. Its love is limited and fragmented within the ego story. At the fourth dimension, from green to violet, we open up the fourth and we observe, that's just a story. That's just a fragmented story that isn't really true love. It really doesn't tap into the real peace and wisdom, which is at the fourth and fifth when we speak it from the upper dimension of green to violet, which is already, guys, what we are. So this is helping you, this program, see outside the box. As we've already tapped into, you've got a bit of an understanding of the history. So within these modules, if you're a parent, you'll be realizing that children become not what you teach, they become what you are. And so if we become this message, then what we're doing is we're teaching our children about who they are directly, because we're observing ourselves and we're changing ourselves in a way that's holistic and sovereign, because we're seeing what doesn't work within ourselves and being honest about it, taking responsibility and having difficult conversations at times about things that help us go into a new future. Because it's that honesty from here that allows us to see from outside the traps of the old limited programs that we haven't fully taken responsibility for. So you're going to see within this framework this continual ability to be aware. We're going into a future where there will be no more war, which means what we have left to do is to create. And what we're going to create is a world that is going to be free of a lot of the constraints that we've been in the last, I don't know how many thousands of years. You control people by the perception of the propaganda. It's a war of propaganda and memes. If you're seen as a victim, then you get to hold the upper card because people want to support you. But that's actually a propagandized war that actually makes you a perpetrator. So the victim and the perpetrator really is a loop that you're coming out of. And if we can see it through Triomni and learn through this in our own lives, then we're tapping into not only a better version of humanity, but that third perspective is freeing us from the old constraints of dualistic programming. And so what we're doing is we're rewriting the subconscious mind in how we can change this thing that's not our friend. Our brain is not our friend. Our brain is not our friend, guys. And so through this program, we're going to rewrite the programming within the brain so that we actually bring in a whole new, fresh approach to success, to earning wealth, to bringing in wealth into our lives, to bringing in better relationships, in order to rewrite this unconscious programming that's held us in a loop for so long. So I'm honoured to be with you with Triomni through this program, through these modules. Step by step, we're going to be exploring as we go, and we're going to be developing more inner standing, more understanding what we're in. And in that, we are developing a new future, not based in waking up in a box, waking up outside it, and actually dealing with old issues in a way that has power, has meaning for a new future, one that actually really is new. So I look forward to seeing you through the modules. This is an introduction to the program. This is Tully Vision, signing out.